Hi guys, it's Sally here, and today I thought I would do a quick video on my favorite drugstore products because I know in the beginning when I started wearing makeup as a teenager, I couldn't really afford expensive products like MAC. Obviously those are much more expensive, higher end makeup products, but I noticed that there was so much selection in the drugstore, but I felt overwhelmed because I wasn't sure what products were really good or worth purchasing. And so I thought I would do this video showing you my favorite drugstore products and the products that I would purchase again that I've really enjoyed using that are quite inexpensive compared to other brand names like MAC and Benefit, even Benefit's kind of on the more expensive end. So here we go. One of my favorite drugstore foundations is Maybelline Dream Smooth Mousse. I really love the consistency of this because it's quite moisturizing and it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It's not quite liquid. Obviously it's a mousse, so it's not quite liquid and it's not quite a powder, but it has a really nice kind of like powdery finish to it at the end. So when you apply it, it's a little bit moist, and then as it dries, it kind of turns into this satiny, powdery finish, which is really nice on the skin. One thing that I would recommend though is if you have oily skin, this may not work for you, or you may have to follow it up with a powder. With myself, because I have kind of combination and more dry skin, I used a little bit of powder in my T-zone and I was good to go for the whole day. The staying power of this is okay. I would say that if you use a powder with it, it would have an all-day wear, but if you're not using a powder, I would say maybe 4 to 6 hours this would last. So I mean, it's comparable to any other kind of mousse or liquid foundation that you'll find in the drugstore. They're all pretty much the same staying power in my opinion, with the exception of the long-lasting foundations that are labeled long-lasting. One of my other favorite drugstore foundations is True Match, and this is by L'Oreal. I really love the finish of this product. It's very kind of powdery and light on the skin. It's light to medium coverage. You can make it a little bit thicker if you apply a couple of coats, then it can cover a little bit more of your skin. But again, this doesn't last all day. It lasts probably about maybe 6 hours max. But you know, I mean, if you're using it for work and you don't really need a whole lot of coverage, this is the way to go because it is really nice finish on the skin, and I like that it doesn't break me out. It's one of those products that just over time, it doesn't seem to break me out at all. Whereas with the Dream Smooth Mousse, for some reason it reacts with my skin. So if I use this over a period of a week, my skin starts to break out a little bit, which is, I don't know, bizarre, I guess. One of my favorite drugstore concealers is the Superstate concealer, and this is by Maybelline. I absolutely love this concealer. It stays all day, it has amazing lasting power, and it's great to use underneath a foundation. I have a color that's a little bit lighter than my skin, and when I just put my foundation over top, it really works to lighten the red areas. If I have a blemish, it covers it up, and then I put my foundation on top and it looks flawless. I will not leave for any sort of vacation or going away at all without having this in my makeup kit because it is just my go-to product. One of my favorite discoveries lately has been the color tattoos, and these are again by Maybelline, and I really like these. I think that they pretty much take the place of the MAC paint pots. I don't think MAC sells paint pots anymore, I could be wrong, but I had a few MAC paint pots because I really liked the durability of them. I would put them on all over my lid, and then I would follow up with my eyeshadow, and it would give me all day wear or all night wear, which I really liked. And this really pretty much is the same product. It lasts forever. I mean, you have to use a pretty good eye makeup remover or a good face wash to remove this product from your eyes at the end of the day, at the end of the night. And I just love the colors that they have now. Initially they didn't have much color selection, but now they're coming up with new lines and new additions. So yeah, I really like this. One of my favorite powders lately has been the True Match powder, and this is the super blendable powder, and I really like the fact that this is very kind of fine. It's almost like the equivalent of my Skin 79 powder, maybe just a little bit, not as quite as fine I guess, but for the price this really is a very long-lasting and very fine powder for the skin. I find some drugstore powders to be kind of chalkier and maybe thicker, and not thicker but the granules are kind of bigger, so it's not as smooth on the skin, but this really is a super blendable and beautiful powder for a drugstore. So yeah, 2 thumbs up for this. Of course, I can't finish this video without talking about my CoverGirl Lash Blast, and this is just the best mascara I find in the drugstores right now. I've bought so many of these tubes. Whenever I run out, I go back to the store and I just buy the same thing because I just find this works really well for myself. And I like the fact that it kind of separates my lashes but makes them thicker as well. Yeah, I just love this formulation. It just works for me. I even have it in the waterproof. So if I ever go to the beach or if I go poolside and I still want to have mascara, yeah, I'm able to do that. So love this product. Now, as far as eyeshadows are concerned, I really am not a fan pretty much at all for the drugstore eyeshadows, with the exception of WetNWild. And I don't know what it is about their eyeshadows. Maybe it's the fact that they're kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. You'd really have to buy it to understand and try it for you to understand, but it's kind of like a very smooth, not chalky at all. It's a very kind of soft, mushy kind of eyeshadow, and it's super, super blendable. And this one is WetNWild's Comfort Zone. It's a really, really nice palette with some nice warm neutrals and some color variation in here. It's a really gorgeous palette, and the finish on it is really nice. I find that it lasts really long. It applies like a dream, and the wearability is fantastic. So yeah, I really like WetNWild eyeshadows. I think they're the only drugstore eyeshadow that I would consider putting on my eyelids. All the other ones that I've tried, I've ended up returning just because I find they don't last very long, and also when I'm applying them, it's really kind of chalky and doesn't really stay on my lid, so I don't like the consistency of it at all. But the consistency of the WetNWild is fantastic. I think that's it for my drugstore favorites right now. I'd say that these are like my top products. I still use some other drugstore products, but these are the ones that I find myself going back to over and over again, and these are the ones that I'm repurchasing as well. So go ahead, try them out, let me know what you think. Connect with me on social media because I'm always on there. I'm a tweetaholic and I'm always on Facebook. So come chat with me there. And yeah, I hope you enjoy your day. And of course, as always, subscribe for more videos. Like this video, favorite it if you do, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.